doing NFL player props here on PrizePicks for Monday Night Football, October 31st. Happy Halloween. We got an interstate matchup here, Cincinnati Bengals versus the Cleveland Browns. And before I get started, there's a link in the description below to sign up for PrizePicks, or you can use promo code TUFF to sign up. PrizePicks will match 100% of your first deposit. There's also a Discord link in the description below this video where we're building a super strong community. Main server currently is completely free, as well as a Patreon link in the description below where I do give all the player props here that I'm making on PrizePicks for each given sport that I do play: NFL, college football, NBA player props on PrizePicks. Patreon link is in the description below. Yesterday on YouTube, we hit on both of our NFL Sunday plays. DJ Moore had 27 fantasy points. We had his over of 12, and Derrick Henry had 149 rush yards. We had his over 100.5. So again, nice weekend here. We hit on both of our YouTube plays here as we consistently do pretty well. Looking to definitely replicate that tonight on Monday Night Football. But let's get into it. Again, not a gambling expert, not financial advice. Simply just plays I'm personally looking at making, hopefully giving you guys some insight and analysis to make your own player props here. But Bengals, Browns here, 4-3 Bengals, 2-5 Browns. This game is being played in Cleveland. Over/under is at 45. The Bengals are the favorites here. However, no Jamar Chase for the Bengals. So interesting. No Jamar Chase to see really how the Bengals run their offense without their number one weapon, I would say, offensively. And again, I think the Bengals have a ton of weapons, but no Jamar Chase. Definitely going to be interesting to see what happens here. But let's get into you guys two total player props that I do like. Let's go. So the first one that I like is going to be a Joe Mixon prop, and I really, honestly, truly, I like his fantasy score a lot at 17.5. Now, he's only hit this once in his last 5 games at 18.1 in his most recent game against Atlanta. But the YouTube play I'm gonna give is his receptions over 3. I just think it's the safest to give. He's had a push or better in his last 5 games, and now without Jamar Chase, he's obviously going to be used quite a bit more checkdowns here for Joe Mixon. I think usually when Joe Burrows snaps the ball, his first read is to Jamar Chase. That read's obviously not going to be there. So again, I've never played quarterback, but I could imagine more checkdowns for Joe Mixon in this game. He's had a push or better in each of these games, the last 5 games of this season. I think he's had at least 3 receptions in every single game this year, actually, if we take a look at his game log. Yeah, 3 receptions in every single game this year. He's gone over this 3 different times. Targets have been pretty consistent here as well for him. But I also really like his fantasy score. I just wanted to talk about that really quickly. Again, without Jamar Chase, it's obviously going to be, I think they want to run the ball a little bit more too. I want to just talk about fantasy score here. Defensive position, PPR, the Browns are giving up the 3rd most fantasy points to the running back position here, 28.5 fantasy points per game, 199 total fantasy points per game to the running back position here. We've seen running backs do pretty well. Fantasy PPR points 52, 34, and 26, 24, and 23 against these 3 teams here, right? And the second highest fantasy points scored ranking here to the running back positions on lineups.com. And we've seen numerous running backs do extremely well here against the Browns. Again, the game script definitely matters here. Obviously, 17.5 is kind of touchdown dependent here for Joe Mixon, unless he just goes crazy on the ground and catches about 5 or 6 passes here. But I just wanted to mention that I do like 17.5 fantasy score. I just wanted to share that with you guys. But the official YouTube play here is going to be 3 receptions for Joe Mixon. He's hit this every time this season. Now without Jamar Chase, I think he can break over that hump and get that 4th reception at some point in this game. So first play is going to be Joe Mixon over 3 receptions here. I'm going with Amari Cooper, and I like his 54.5 receiving yards here against the Bengals. Now, I also really like his reception targets because Amari Cooper this season, when he's played at home, right, he's had reception targets of 12, 12, 11, and 10, which is why I like his receiving yards here, 54.5. I just think it's too low. I mean, this is a player that has 422 yards in the season, has gone over this 1, 2, 3, 4 times this season already, has had a few dud games here, 1 for 4 against the Falcons, complete dud here, had 17 yards here against the Carolina Panthers, and then had 74 yards here against the Baltimore Ravens, 44 yards and a touchdown here against the New England Patriots, where this game for the Browns was just completely horrendous overall. But when Amari Cooper's played at home, he's had 10-plus targets in each game, which is why I think 8.5 reception targets is an interesting prop as well. But I definitely think 54.5 receiving yards is a little bit safer. In my opinion, just a little bit too low. Wide receivers this year against the Bengals have done pretty well. I mean, we're talking about 55 receiving yards, so we've gone 1, 2, 3, 6 different wide receivers have gone over this number. Duvernay came pretty close here. Elisha Moore caught 4 catches, 9 targets for 49 yards. Waddle got kind of locked up at Cincinnati. But overall, I mean, I think on the road here, For the Bengals defense, I definitely think Bengals are going to be able to score on the Browns. So the Browns are definitely going to have to throw the ball here in this game. Amari Cooper is Brissett's, without question, favorite target. I'm not sure what's up with Njoku right now because, again, he doesn't have any props here on PrizePicks yet, which I do like his the Njoku props. Oh, he's out. Njoku's out for this game, so I definitely think even more so. I like Amari Cooper's over 54.5 receiving yards. Noah David Njoku, who is obviously Brissett's second favorite target. So Amari Cooper over 54.5 just seems way too low for a player that is going to probably get 10 plus targets in this game. 54.5 seems super attainable for a player like Amari. Taking the over here, just needs 55 receiving yards to hit this. Over here for Amari Cooper against the Bengals. So we got Amari Cooper over 54.5 receiving yards. Joe Mixon over 3 receptions. I think both these plays are pretty safe in my opinion. Patreon plays should be live by the time this video goes live. Obviously, we'll be adding a few more before kickoff. Let me know in the comments below how you feel about these player props here. Again, all I ask is drop a like on this video, hit that subscribe button, and as always, let's cash.